So we were discussing about emotional intelligence. No, this is very wrong. This is not what I had to share. This is Sundar Pichai's. Who's Sundar Pichai, guys? Anyone? Does anybody remember?
Google
Google
CEO.
CEO.
Google CEO.
Google CEO. Google
I was
CEO.
reading an article about him.
I see today's news that Google produced glasses, who is this glasses helps the humans who not hear, and glasses writing translate the news. When you someone is talking to you, the glasses translated, you can read it when you don't hear someone's voice.
This is the article that I was reading. I'll share it on the. What is happening? I'm becoming an old man. I'm probably becoming an old man. Why am I not able to get that? So I'll quickly do a recap of what you guys can see the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll do a quick recap. So we have emotional intelligence and intellectual intelligence, IQ or SPQ, and part of SQ, that is spiritual intelligence. We discussed about left brain, right brain. We have this. We did a lot about we learned about left brain and right brain. What the left brain covers, what the right brain covers. We did a. Do you remember this or have you forgotten about it, guys? Guys and girls, I shared this with you as
Uh,
well. Hello.
that
Yeah, discuss it to us.
Left brain and right brain. Do you remember? Have you forgotten?
yes, I remember.
Vipin, do you remember? Do you remember?
No, I was
Well,
actually
I'm going to leave that
I attended the meeting very late. I
Okay, great. No worries. I'll take you guys across it quickly. What is the left brain and what is the right brain? Yes, brains have different parts. Your left brain is what is your intellectual capacities and your feelings, your emotions is a part of your right brain. The right
Yep.
brain controls the artistic abilities of a person, and the left brain is more active. You learn through your left part of your brain. It helps you think properly, and it is more analytical. It helps you reason. And I'll share this with you. I think I've shared this on
Yes,
Slack, haven't I?
yes,
The inventory, what it does help you to do.
I think you shared it.
Abed, you can hear the Friday prayers going in the background, right? What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is every person's right side of the brain, right side or left side, guys?
Emotional is
So your right
side.
side of your brains, which
Yes.
helps you emote properly.
Yep.
And it helps you recognize your emotions. Remember, guys, without emotions, we are nothing. The basic difference between, and in fact, even God's other creation, they also emote.
Without emotions, we are robots.
We are robots. Anything that has been created by God has a power of emotion. Human beings have an extra, you could say, extra dash or extra hair serving of emotions. And people who have whose emotions or emotions intelligence is active, they are more successful. Why are they more successful? Because they can control their anger, they can control their feelings. So as you see in this particular slide, your intelligence is just a minor part of what you are. A good example that I told you about is is that our senses
Yep.
indicate what we are. When you're hungry, your body is hungry, it sends up signals, and that indicates that you are hungry. I'm hungry, I want to eat food. I'm thirsty, I need to drink water. Isn't this right? I had cited some examples. Out of control emotions make smart people stupid.
Hmm.
High IQ people, go to a couple of examples of them. Emotionally strong people are very caring. They understand people's emotions. They understand what a person is going through. A good leader who is emotionally or whose EQ is very or EI is very active, he may feel for his people. He usually does or she does feel for his or her people. People who are strong on EQ know how to handle their emotions. They don't get angry. They don't get sad. They don't get concerned, or rather, they don't get frittery about people. They're excellent decision makers, and they know how to trust their emotions. And they are able to sense other people's emotions. Now, today, we'll start off this session with our next topic. How do you understand what your emotions are? This is where we finished off last time. I did tell you that the induction of emotion quotient or emotional intelligence was derived by Daniel Goleman, an American psychologist who did a lot of mapping of emotional intelligence amongst people, especially in the corporate world. So, what we're going to talk about is the 5 elements. Today, what we're going to start off with, we'll talk about the 5 characteristics, the 5 elements that go into understanding EQ. Everybody here with me so far?
Yes.
Yes, Abhi.
I haven't
Yes.
recorded this. Let me start. I'm
Yes,
recording.
yes.
Sorry, my bad. So the first characteristic is self-awareness. Can anybody tell me what do you understand by the meaning of self-awareness?
How much
You are
do you
aware
know
of what you're
yourself?
doing.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Jagrutta.
Anyone?
It is more of self-introspection.
Very good,
How
Abid.
much do you know about yourself?
Very good. Very, 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 very good. In all the holy texts, in every documented holy text, there is one particular parameter where man should know himself. Man, when I meant man, I meant both the genders. So if a person knows about what he is, and then it is very easy for him to understand his surrounding, his uh, his world, his society. And for that matter, if a man is aware about himself, it is very easy for that man to understand the powers above him. It
Excuse
makes
me, Abhi.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Deepak is calling me right now. I think it's about the live.
Go ahead. Go ahead. If
Thank
you
you.
want to go ahead.
I'll be back.
So it makes it easier for a man to understand the supreme or higher powers. And he once he does that, he understands how small or his contribution is so insignificant in the world. Now let me ask all of you all, what is the scientific value of a man, one particular man? Take Abid Sayar. What is the scientific value of Abid Sayar? Anybody?
Scientific.
Scientific value. The scientific value of Abid Sayal is around 7 to 8, 10 liters of water.
Oh, I see that.
So much fat where I can, well, this is a differentiating factor. There's so much of fat in Abid's body that you can make 20 bars of soap. Probably in somebody else's case, in Sahel's case, it would be 5 bars of soap. There's enough nickel in me to make a coin. There's enough iron in me to make 5 nails. There's so much of calcium that I can make 20 chalks. So if I sum this up, what will be my scientific value? Something in the terms of, I'll say, around $100. That is around 7,500 rupees. Something like 8,000 pesos. I'm not aware about the Georgian calculation. So scientific value of Abid Sayal is $100. But is this Abid Sayal? Okay, they probably may be able to sell my hair. But what is Abid Sayal's worth? Abid Sayal's worth, if you want to ask him, ask people around him. For the organization which I work, I may be, say, I don't know whatever the price the company pays me. But for my family, I'm invaluable, both emotionally and physically. Likewise, my contribution to the world is totally different. So you cannot put a value to a person in the emotional context. Every creation is invaluable. But I may never know what is the value or what is the value of one of my team members. I honestly I cannot fully comprehend the value that Georgi is to me, what Grey Rose is to me, what Arun is to me. What I see as a value is what they contribute to my team. But is that what Georgi is? Is that what Bipin is? Is that what Arun is all about? Just a person who's doing training for me? Just a person who is a part of my team member? Are you understanding me what I'm trying to say, guys?
Yes.
There is a word in Hindi called tatsav. It's a Sanskrit word. And it's a part of many Indian prayers. Tatsav. It means that recognize yourself, know yourself. Once a man knows himself, and when I say know yourself, it does not mean, okay, I am 64 waist, 2 meters height. That's not knowing yourself. When I mean know yourself, I mean know what you are. Know what makes you happy. Know what makes you sad. Know what you contribute. Know your value. Know your emotions. If you get angry quickly, do you know what can control your anger? Or have you worked to control your anger? This is sounding more like a spiritual discourse rather than a train the trainer session. But unless and until as a trainer, as a supervisor, you do not know what you are, you will never be able to bring 100% in your trainings or in your leading your teams. Because you don't know yourself. Do you think you'll be able to know your team members? It's only when you know yourself, you will be able to know what your team members. And you'll be able to handle their emotions, you'll be able to handle your emotions. Any questions, guys? Are you understanding me? Ideally, you should be able to know yourself to a particular level. But if you are not able to do it, yes.
My question is that how to do so?
Okay, very good question. Well, this slide tells you about doing a SWOT analysis, and that's not wrong. But you should know yourself by asking yourself questions. Do you, at the end of the day, sit back and contemplate or think of what has happened during the day? If you got angry, that's the most easiest way of knowing yourself. asking yourself your questions, and being honest with yourself. If you are honest with yourself, you will be able, that is the best way of attaining self nirvana, of knowing yourself completely. But what happens is that we, as creatures of emotions, we lie to ourselves. And there are many times that we have a different negative attributes which hide us from ourselves. Ego hides us. When I'm doing a self-evaluation, one of the thoughts that comes into my, why should I do it? He is at fault, not me. That is my ego speak. These are barriers of self-awareness. These are barriers of self-evaluation. Then there are certain psychological parameters or psychometric tools that help you know what you are. However, the first and the most apt step of self-awareness is to have honest conversation with yourself. Do not do it in a loud voice, because if I'm talking to myself and somebody sees me, he'll think, you know what has happened to me? I've gone, put Abid in a mad home. पागल खाने में लेके जाओ इसको. So, but you have to be honest with yourself. Even before evaluating or trying to know yourself, be honest with yourself. A person who's not honest with himself can never understand his true aware, or can never be truly aware about himself or herself. Abid answers your question.
Yes. Yes. I will try to do so tonight.
And I am confident you will get your true answers.
And be honest.
The next way is self-regulation. You are true to yourself. You are able to control your emotions. I know it's very easily said. It's seldomly done. Think about it. There is a moment I'm talking to, say, Bipin. And Bipin is talking back to me. Now, for example, during my conversation with Bipin, Sahil comes in and starts speaking to Bipin. Without trying to understand the situation, or without the courtesy of butting in. What will happen to Abid? He'll get angry. Why will he get angry? Because his emotions will tell him, see, this idiot, he did not even have the courtesy to come and stop and ask permission and join the conversation, or say, pardon me, or say anything of that kind. So the redness inside me will climb up. And then, Sahil, you fool, you don't know, we are talking something important, we're discussing something important, blah, 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 blah. No. Now, if the redness in Sahil, anger in Sahil reciprocates, what will happen? A virtual boxing match.
Yeah.
Abid and Sahil will have a virtual boxing match. And who will be watching the whole show? Bipin. Bipin will have a blue color rising inside him. He'll say, see, I'm watching all this fun. I'm having so much fun watching these two idiots fight.
That too without a ticket.
Without paying any price for it. But instead of that, if Abid would have controlled the redness in him with the white light, what would have happened? Abid would have controlled the anger in him and would have politely told Sahil, you know what, we were speaking something very important when you came and disturbed us.
It
Then what
could
will
have been
happen?
avoided.
It could have been avoided. Then Sahil will, in this situation, Sahil will understand, oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, Abid, I'm sorry. Bipin, I'm sorry. I should not have disturbed you. I'll pay attention to this and I will never do it next time. So regulating yourself, controlling your emotions in this kind of situation. Georgi, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
it's not only controlling the red inside me, the anger inside me, not only controlling my emotions, but I've managed to change a person's outlook. I've managed to change another person's outlook, another person's point of view, another person's feelings, another person's emotion. So a win-win for everybody. So one of the things that you've got to do in your self-aware or in your understanding of emotions is to regulate yourself, control yourself. Don't let anything else or your situation control you. I am not sure about it, but guys, have you heard about one particular proverb? There was a story, I'll give you an example. There was a person who used to constantly become angry. He used to blow up on anybody and each and every person. So his father called him over and he told him the story of the wolves, the different wolves. There's a good wolf and there's a bad wolf. So he told the story to the son and said, son, there are two types of wolves in you. There's a good wolf and there's a bad wolf. And the son asked him the question, Dad, which of the wolf wins? The father smiled and said, can anybody guess what did the father say? The father said, the wolf that you feed. So your anger, your emotions, your negative emotions. It's not just anger. It's seethe, it's jealousy. So if you are able to control these emotions in you, you're able to regulate these, your emotional quotient, your emotional intelligence will get better. Hi Ella, hi Ridhima.
Hello.
Hi guys,
Nice
hi
of you
guys.
guys. Nice of you to join us.
Sorry for the late.
Hello.
Hi Sidesh.
Hello. Sorry for the late.
No,
We were
no
the three of
worries.
us in another
No
meeting.
problem.
We were,
Yeah,
we were not
I can understand that. It's a part and
in
parcel of
between
our
times.
lives.
Yeah.
Guys, say hello to our three team members.
Hello.
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 Now, anything more docile than this would have been questioned. Hello. That was, all of you all said a similar kind of hello to them. Okay, coming back to the topic. The third most important thing that will help you maintain a very very good quality of how you can manage your emotions is by motivating yourself. Remember the first thing what I told you in your awareness program is having honest conversations about yourself, having these small conversations or dialogues with yourself,
Yeah, knowing yourself.
knowing yourself. And the second factor is never getting yourself closed in a room where you feel dejected. Remember, failure is always going to be a part of you. If there is no failure, there is no success.
True that.
There is no success without failure. How many of you have seen Chinese movies, Jackie Chan and Donnie Yen's and Jet Li's movies?
Few of them.
Yep.
And do you remember any of these
I
movies
know this
like
movie.
Snake in the Monkey Shadow, the old Jackie Chan movies?
Mhm.
Yes, no?
No.
Have you seen 36 Chamber of Shaolin, the old martial arts kung fu movies? In mostly all of these movies, the hero or the protagonist will first go and fight with people. He'll lose, he'll come back, he'll practice, and then he gets better, and then he goes and defeats the villains.
Yep.
Right? Even in any of these other action movies, there is a point in time, there is a point where despair comes up. It could be actionable despair. It could be emotional despair. And despair or anguish or demotivation is a very big killer. Today, I read a statistics that around 74% of the population of the world today, irrespective of the countries, have some or the other kind of a mental issue. There are certain dogmas, there are certain inhibitions, it could be anything. The categories may vary, the intensity may vary, but there is a high percentage of mental disbalance in our society.
Can I
And
make a
that-
joke?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
But I think the tone is so serious. It depends who you ask. I mean, if you ask a shrink, and I know your wife is one of them, everybody's sick. so if you go to a doctor, for sure they will find something wrong with you. If you search well enough. So yeah, I think it's true as well, and I think we should not. I think it has always been like this. It's only the diagnosis or the frequency of which people get diagnosed. It's different now than 50 years ago. But I think all the time people had issues.
People have correct. People have always had issues. The mental issues have always been there. It's been there even during the time of, when there was a caveman.
Sure.
It's always been there. However, today we are mature. As a society, we are mature. Understand that this can be controlled. And this isn't an illness that can be taken care of with medicines or with external assistance. Some of it, yes, if I'm totally mad, or if I am what I usually call is that I'm autistic. Even autism today usually is not taken care by medicines. They give you a behavioral therapy. They give you behavioral medicines. Change of environment, constant speech or constant interaction. They make you emotionally strong. They motivate.
Can I suggest a practical question or a practical advice that I also learned? I also learned myself while I was in the recent training for becoming a coach. It's and I noticed that is a question that is very often appears in coaching sessions. Is when the feelings of that we call negative feelings of anger, despair, lack of motivation, fear, feelings that hold us back and stop the progress. When this type, if you identify in you or in your team member this type of feeling, a question you can ask yourself or them is, how can you use the energy that is behind this feeling to achieve your goal? So if I have an angry editor that he doesn't want to do practice work, let's say, you can ask him, how can you use your anger to achieve your goal? And he says, what goal? I have no goal. Well, this might be a problem. Do you have a goal? What do you want to become? Do you want to become a gold editor? When do you want to become a gold editor? Well, I want to be a gold editor in 3 months, or never, I don't want to be, or whatever. They will answer to you something. It's important to take that person from their frame of reference, from the picture that they are, and move them into a positive space with a question, with an attitude. Take that energy, that energy, and put it into something good. That's the focus it like a laser beam for something, for a good purpose, to achieve a goal, to help somebody, and then it takes practice. Of course, we all get angry. It's a state of mind. But the more you think about this, the faster this possibility comes. You will see. If you try to practice it every day, even at home, when you get angry and you say, how can I take this anger and put it into something good to actually solve this instead of just being angry, you will see that the time of being angry gets from here to here.
Yep.
Okay.
Very much right. Very, very, very much right. Anger is just one kind of emotion. Ella just mentioned fear. And believe me, you know what came into my mind? When all these movies, all these horror movies that we've seen, where, you know, people are scared of ghosts and ghosts come and kill people, Evil Dead. And then, you know, rationally, I thought, how many in real life has anyone ever been killed by a ghost? Now think about this rationally. I don't think ever since since Adam and Eve, that I don't think anyone has ever been killed by an angry ghost. So you may think about it, but see how a group of people have motivated or controlled the emotions of the masses by showing that, you know, in movies that and in stories that ghosts come out from a television. There's a house in Japan where the ghost will come and break your neck. And how have they petrified a sizable population of the world to think that ghost exists? But who knows? Ghost may exist, ghost may not exist. And in continuation to this particular topic, there was a poll conducted in America some years back, and they asked similar kind of questions to a group of people, and they found out that around 65% of the American population believe that zombies existed. That there is a way that human beings can become zombies and they will eat each other's brain, or they'll eat other people's brains. 65% of Americans believe that.
I believe that ghosts or zombies are just in your head. That's it.
So that, what does that prove? That
You know,
proves-
10%
may become a ghost.
of 10% of the population believe that the Earth is flat. So
Not anymore, Ella. It was years back. The world believed that the earth was flat.
yeah, no, even now there is 100K people, at least in Romania, that believe that the Earth is flat. So I think worldwide, or they believe that you know, whatever. So yeah, it's
So this is it. So you see how easy is it for you or for anybody,
Yep.
for mankind for that matter, to let their minds go on, go uncontrolled.
Uncontrolled, trackless. Yeah.
If you can control your mind, if you can control your emotions, because you know what happens is your emotions can easily control you. Fear
but
is a-
I would like to ask you all a question related to this. It might get philosophical. And what if they believe that zombies and ghosts exist? I'm here in a work environment. If I believe that ghosts and zombies exist, does this make me a bad professional?
It's like believing
No.
in God and not believing in God. It's the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, for me, that I'm in a professional relationship with Ridhima, me believing this or Ridhima believing a different thing is not an issue until it becomes a professional issue. And I think it's when it comes to beliefs, especially because Abid gave this example, I think especially in an international environment, we should respect each other's beliefs, even if we don't believe that they are truth. Nobody has the holy, the universal truth. So until this affects my work and until my editor comes to me to say, a ghost attacked me today and I could not start my work until 12 p.m. Okay, okay, good. So this becomes a professional matter.
Or a zombie attacked me.
Until then, he can believe in whatever he or she wants. I don't have a problem with it.
Uh-huh.
And I truly believe that a person should not be judged by their beliefs. They are there.
Never should be.
They are there for the reasons that I cannot understand. I will never understand. I never experienced, and so on and so forth. So a professional matter. I mean, this type of behavior becomes a matter when it affects the professional life. Yeah, even if you are a supervisor or a trainer or a head of department, this doesn't justify you judging other people's beliefs.
And because similarly, you wouldn't want anyone else
To judge
judging
yours.
your beliefs, your fears and your beliefs.
Exactly.
You wouldn't like anyone else doing it to you. So as they say, judge not, lest ye be judged.
Yes.
So you shouldn't judge anybody. In fact, what Ella said about, respecting people. If you want people to respect you, you should be respecting others. You should be respecting others' point of views as well. Well, according to certain Samoan, the earth was made on the back of a shark. I should be respecting that person. If not anything else in the professional environment, I should be respecting their point of view. And this is not only very important in your professional life, but it also plays a very big role in your life in general. We very easily get complacent when it comes to other people's emotions. But anyway, that's a total different topic. It's a total different chapter. We can talk about it. But understand that you controlling your emotions, you motivating yourself, you motivating others is very, very important. And it's a very important mantra. It's a very important factor if you want to succeed in life. If you want to be happy. It could be either success or happiness. There are two different things. It could be one as well. And when we go forward, another factor of your success emotionally is how you learn to understand other people's point of view in continuation. How you relate or emote to somebody else's issues. If you're happy in somebody else's afflictions, or if somebody is in a problem, or if somebody has an issue and you get happy, then you're probably a sociopath. You're not a human being. You have some serious mental issues. But if you see, for example, this is what psychologists do. They show you a photograph. They show you a photograph of some kind of problem, and then immediately they give you an ink blot test. An ink blot test is where they show you blots of ink on a paper, and they ask you to tell what do you see in that ink blot. So they show you a photograph of, say, a massive calamity, a bomb blast, people dying, or a small child. You remember that photograph where you had a small Somalian kid about to die and the vulture sitting at the back of him, waiting for the boy to die so he could eat him. And then they show you an ink blot test. So if you see that ink blot, you see food, it emotes, it helps you emote, it shows how much you can emote. And your emotion, your concern, your right brain factor, if it indicates that it makes you sad when somebody else is in a problem, or somebody has some is in a little difficulty or is not happy, you are well versed, or that makes you emotionally, your right brain to be very strong. It's not necessary that you have to cry at somebody's pain, but you feel it.
You remember some time back we had an editor who did not have any control over her emotions. and she wrote it to me that she gets really angry at times. While we were talking to her, while I was talking to her, and I was just trying to know that whether she's taking any medications or not, she got really angry, and then I had to call you if your wife could help her out. Srushti was her name.
This did happen. This did happen. But guys, empathy is not just wearing somebody else's shoes or walking in somebody's shoes. The empathy part is you getting that concern. Even if you feel sorry for a person, or if you feel bad about a person, or you relate to that person in that particular matter of discomfort, it will help you grow emotionally. And if you are able to act on that empathetic moment, you grow emotionally. You grow emotionally, and that would have a much more positive effect on you. I'm not going to cite examples right now, but I'll just tell you about one thing. Think about it. If one of your colleagues that you're working with in your team meeting says, you know what, I had a toothache yesterday, and it was very difficult for me to complete my job. But if you are a colleague of his, and you say, oh, why didn't you let me know about it? I would have shared some job of yours. I shared some image. I have worked it for you. You could have gone to a doctor. That empathy, that moment where you stand up and you try to portray that you are there for that person, it gives that person comfort. And I'm not equating it by saying, oh, I'm not going to give you a further example, but tomorrow if you need some help, that person may or may not stand up for you. But you doing it without any, overtly, you could say, anything that you have in the back of your head or in your heart, a hidden agenda. If you do it selflessly, believe me, it will come back to you. If it's done with a hidden agenda, then it's not empathy. It's not empathy. It's a very thin line which separates it. I'm going a little fast now. I have a couple of more slides to complete. This topic has been long in the make to complete it. Social skills.
I have a comment here. Just a second, Abhi. Sure. I have a comment here about empathy, which is a complex feeling as I understand it, and I'm not sure I fully understand it myself. I think empathy doesn't mean that you have to get sad with the other person, and it doesn't mean that you have to pretend that you actually understand them, because only them are in that position. Nobody can understand others people's position, because they don't have the life experience that they had. So understanding, perceiving that there is a state of emotion in that person is important. But if we all start crying because the kids in Africa have nothing to eat, then we get nothing done. So I think it's a combination of, I get your point, I get where you are. Maybe I have been in that state myself, maybe I have not. But I get what you, this is how, at least how I interpret it. I get where you are, I understand your point of view. I feel that you are in this state. Sometimes I can help, sometimes I cannot help. But it's important that I move on and you move on. In order for me to help you move on, I need to put my oxygen mask to be safe, and then I can help you. If I jump and we cry all together, Yeah. So if an editor is highly demotivated and they have personal problems or problems in their work, I think you as a supervisor should say, I've been there. I have struggles myself. I know how you feel, or I don't know fully how you feel, but I think I can relate. I can understand. And then slowly, slowly try to move him away from that place. Because if you don't do that, you become his therapist. And you don't get paid at Photoguru to be a therapist. You get paid at Photoguru to have people in your team that are productive to the best of their means, and we all have good days and bad days, right?
Yeah.
Because some people might get in the habit of always being sad, always having a problem, always having an issue, always having a situation, always are the victims. And when you have to break that, this is at least what I try to do, to break that cycle. You see them immediately in your team. Who are the victims, permanent victims? They always have a problem. You know them.
How to deal in such a situation?
This is what I'm saying. You have to break the cycle. So by
Yes,
saying,
how to do it?
I understand, I reflect, I understand your position. I have been in that position myself. I had power cuts. I've been through a typhoon. I've been through a, big loss in my family. Give them the time to grieve. Everybody needs time to grieve, to be sad. But if this happens over and over and over and over again, you have to say, I feel with you, I get your point. Well, how can you direct that energy that you're feeling to be productive?
Yeah.
How can you direct that sadness and working better, or understanding each other, or doing something constructive?
So basically, what efforts are you putting in order to get over it?
And what if
What
the,
efforts are you putting in? And I'm here to help you. I understand your state of mind. I understand that it's difficult for you. Again, if this is a repeated behavior, everybody is sad in sometimes, not every day, not every month, not, everybody has their issues. But if you see this pattern in your colleague, it means that they become a victim and they thrive on this role, and you're always their savior. You always give them, oh, you have a shoulder to cry on, oh, come to me, and you are complacent in this relationship where they are not productive, and you like being their savior. So I get that. I understand. You can take time off today. You can, enjoy the rest of the afternoon to make yourself feel better, or whatever you think it's worth it, or okay, I can help you with some work today, and I can do this 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, but then it has to stop.
right?
Guys, how do you say, sorry.
Break the cycle. Okay, I understand you're feeling sad still. How can you be productive today? What do you need from me? Oh, I need again time off. Okay, you have 5 times this month. Okay, I think you can. Let's try to get by to the next hour without any help. Small steps. Do you think you can edit the 3 images in the next hour? Let's see how it goes, and you'll call him again. So step by step, guide him to be productive, because some people do it on purpose. Okay,
What if even the guidance or channelizing this person doesn't work? What if
then
even
you
the
know
last
what you have to
objection
do.
doesn't work?
I am not a therapist. I am a supervisor. I am not a therapist. Or I am not here to solve everybody's problems. I am here to offer them my support to do their job well. If I did everything I could, if everything that was in my power, offer them time off, offer them advice, offer them guidance, offer them, maybe a backup, offer them the help of Bipin, offer them, and still, it means that the moment in their life to work and to be productive is not good. So I cannot go parachute myself in the editor's life and change everything around them. but I can do what it's up to me. This is why I'm saying that for a person like this, to be positive and to guide them to a positive outcome, because in anybody's life, I think, if there are many troubles, but if they are successful at one thing, to be an editor, for example, I think they will also start to see the life differently. If everything in your life goes bad and you're bad at your job, there is no silver lining. But if everything in your life is not good, but you are good at your job, you do good editing, you are praised for it, then you have pull them towards the light, do the effort. If they don't want to go there, then
Guys, how will you save a drowning man or a drowning girl?
If I don't know
By
the
throwing
swimming,
a
I
rope.
will not.
No.
By
I
throwing a
not-
rope or by
No.
throwing a
How do you save a drowning person?
so
by throwing a
if
rope or by
you're
throwing
speaking
a
about
rope.
the act itself,
The act
to
itself.
save.
How do you save a drowning
Okay,
person?
if I know how to swim, I go myself into the water and I have to turn them tummy
No.
up and I grab them.
You have to grab
Huh?
them by their hair.
Yeah,
Distance
no by
yourself
the
from
hair.
them.
No by their hair.
You have to either by their hair or you
Just
have
to
to
keep their
distance
head
yourself.
under to keep the head.
You
But
cannot
I
go
have
close
to
to them. If you go close to them, they will make you drown as well.
Yeah, they will grab you. So you have to go into a position where they cannot grab you with their
Either you
hands.
catch them by the neck or you have to go from
Yeah,
ideally
exactly.
from the back.
Exactly.
You don't even catch the hand. You
No,
don't even
no.
go from the front. You go from the back. If you can't catch any part of their body, catch their hair, bring them up. Catch their
But again-
back, bring them up. Catch their shirt and bring them up. But the
Go
main
into
thing
the
is,
water.
How to
Yeah,
save
I-
a
you
drowning
don't
man.
go close to them. You
Go
are
into the
at a
water.
distance.
Go into the water only if you can swim yourself.
Exactly.
Don't go
Exactly.
into
Before
don't go
helping
into
anyone
a
else.
therapy conversation with your teammate if you're not capable.
If you're not capable.
Leave it. Say, okay, I'm sad. Okay, I understand. I will give you some time and step back. Don't go there because you will drown with them. They will start crying. They will start, and if you cannot handle, then you say, oh my God, what have I done?
That's a
So-
brilliant.
Not only
Brilliant
their
example.
deliverables will not be met, even yours will not be met. At the end of the day, you will check out that you've not been able to do anything that you were supposed to do. So it's got to be at a distance. Remember one thing, being emotionally aware of being emotionally strong is very good. But you should know yourself and you should know everybody around you. Remember the first, self-awareness. So maintain a distance. And as next point, social skills. You should know exactly what you are. Awareness will only help you. Awareness will help the things around you. If you are aware about what your team's pros are, of what everybody or how everybody is in your team, and that maturity, if you have that kind of maturity, you will definitely be able to manage your team. You will be able to make your team happy at the slightest, with little of effort. Your team happy, you are happy. With a happy team, the team will grow, you will grow. If there's any gruntle or if there's any kind of unhappiness in the group, it will definitely affect you. However, there was a Pat Benatar song, From a Distance. You don't have to get into the muck to clean the still. You can do it by getting an excavator and pulling all the muck from inside. Remember, there is to be a distance maintained. That is for your sanctity, that is for your well-being. Because you just don't have one particular, you're not only responsible for one aspect in your team or one person in your team. You have other people in your team also, or if you have or you have multiple facets that you have to cater to. Do you remember what I told you first? Doing a SWOT analysis about yourself. When you realize what you are, what your plus points are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. So if my weakness is I don't know how to swim, so it's foolish for me to jump into water to save a drowning man. If my strength is that I can hold my breath for a long time, so if in case there's an aircraft malfunction, I may put the mask on the faces of my children. However, if I know that I can't breathe for a longer time, the wisest thing I can do is pick up the mask and put it on my face and then help my children and then help others. So awareness, self-awareness is very, very important. If you know that somebody in your team gets very angry, so it's your duty, or it should be your duty, to guide that person. You don't have to lead that person. You guide that person. And if you have that kind of social skills, if you have that kind of maturity, believe me, and you can check out, tons of books that is there about emotional intelligence. Or you can look at people who are successful. They are very, very wise about what their feelings are, but that to a limit. Guys, have you read the article I just posted about Sundar Pichai?
Not yet. We will be.
It's a very good, very, very good article about maturity, about an organization. I wanted you guys to read the response he's given. So this brings us to the end of our session. Emotional intelligence is about your heart coordinating with your head. Greros, can you read this, please?
Fact. Emotional intelligence, EQ or IQ, can be defined as the ability to understand, manage, and effectively express one's own feelings, as well as engage and navigate successfully with those of others.
Thank you.
Fact.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Fact. Far from highly productive and successful people possess high emotional intelligence rather than IQs.
Very good. Can somebody else read this?
Fact. EQ is twice more productive of success than IQ. Predictive of success than IQ. But unlike IQ, which does not change significantly over a lifetime, our EQ can evolve and increase with our desire to learn and grow.
Predictive means it is more, you can understand, or you can predict that it is twice more guaranteed that a person who is EQ is twice more, who has a strong and devout sense of EQ, would be guaranteed twice more successful than a very learned person. A very good question, or rather a very good point here is, has any one of you seen the television serial called The Big Bang Theory?
No, I haven't.
Anybody?
No, but
Sheldon Cooper, the person, the protagonist, one of the characters in it. IQ very high, EQ is practically zero. His friends collaborate, and by the end of that serial, make him emotionally a little intelligent. What happens to him once his emotions get active? He wins the Nobel Prize in physics.
Mhm.
So guys, this is the end of the session.
I would like to share something, which is, I know that EQ and IQ are a big, very, very high profile in style, like fashion right now. For an editor, he can have his EQ, emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, to the sky. If he doesn't have the skills, again, If he doesn't have the skills, he will not succeed. So there are jobs where emotional intelligence is highly required. And from the moment you start helping people, working with people, it's a must to have them. To be an editor, it's good to have emotional intelligence. Why? Because you are aware about your emotions, you are aware about other people's emotions, you know what you want, you know what your career goal is, and so on. But even if you have emotional intelligence and you are zero in skills, you cannot succeed, at least in Photoguru. So some people get confused about being street smart, having emotional intelligence and so on, with being good at their job. The successful people, they have the IQ, they have the knowledge, they master the field, and if they have emotional intelligence, nothing can stop them. But the combination where you're very emotionally intelligent and you have zero skills doesn't take you anywhere. This is what I found in my professional life. Maybe Abid and Sidesh and you guys can thinking about the people that you know. Knowing how to do a thing well is the base of everything. We can start about, we can talk how much we want about development, leadership. If you don't do your job, we have nothing to talk about. This is my point of view. It's very, I'm sorry I give it so straight.
No, you're right. You're very much right. That's what it is.
Doing your job, it's the base of the discussion. You don't do your job, you can have emotional intelligence, you can be James Bond for all I care. You have to do your job. You applied for this job, you are trained for the job, you had to do. And the same for the role of editor, supervisor, trainer, process manager, whatever. So it is this because I have this conversation with the kids in school as well, because my why is this school important if emotional intelligence makes you to be double successful, as it says in the slide? Well, emotional intelligence makes you be double successful if you have the skills. If you have zero skills, 2 multiplied with 0 is still 0.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my point of view, guys.
Obviously, emotional intelligence makes you successful, but it is understood that you have to have the skills for it. If you do not know multiplication, you can never be successful in math. If you don't know the basic arithmetic principles, you can never be successful. So you can.
And this is why introvert people that don't talk a lot, and we have some people here that don't talk a lot, who are very, very, very good in their job, are successful. Because if we were to judge only by the emotional intelligence, the people that are extroverts and can talk a lot, can pick up feelings and so on, they tend to be more successful. But we have people right here that are introvert people that don't talk a lot and that are very successful and they do their job very well. So again, it's I think half, but you cannot do with any of the halves. So please, Sidesh.
Yes, Sidesh.
We are out of the time, I think.
Yeah, I'll take just 2 minutes. So yes, so what Ella is trying to say is like, apart from these things, your domain expertise matters the most. So you need to balance it out. So unless and until your domain expertise are good, these kind of skill level will not help you to climb up the ladder in your professional career. So yes, I'm sure you are very good at your domain expertise. But other than those domain expertise, what Abid Bhai is trying to develop is to teach you about managerial skill, where all these kind of behavioral aspects will come in. How you can organize yourself, how you can think creatively, how you can do the things in a more scientific manner. So all those things will come up when you climb up your professional ladder, and when you go to the next level. So I understand you might feel that these kind of sessions are boring, and what these guys are talking about. But trust me, these things are going to help you a lot in your professional career. So don't just focus on technical skill, but your professional skills also at the same time needs to be developed. So I think that is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Ask around. So I have few people here that call me or ask me directly things. Use each other, ask around. You don't know, you feel, ask around. Ask a more senior guy. Ask around. How do I do? How do I proceed? How do I? Then you will get there. Yeah. Okay. I think I talked a lot. I'm sorry, Abid, I interrupted you.
No worries. Always welcome. Guys, anyone has any questions?
No, I would just like to say this
No.
to the trainers and the supervisors. Please let the information flow kept on going to your editors, because whatever the information, whatever the guidance Abid is giving right now, Ella and Siddesh, it should actually reach to your editors in your own words. So apply that knowledge to your teams. It will really help you out your day-to-day activities.